Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's video we will be diving into the iPhone 16 Pro and also the new features from the new iOS update. So we will covering new design, new features, iOS improvements, and whether this upgrade is for you or not. So the first thing that I want to talk about is going to be design and hardware. So the iPhone 16 Pro, as you can see here, is a bit bigger than the previous version, but it's barely noticeable, as well as it weighs a bit more than the previous one. So the material is going to be the same, made out of titanium of course. The new processor is A18 Pro, which is a bit faster than the previous one, A17 Pro. You may not notice how fast this could be. So for this new design we have two new buttons. On the right side we have a new button for the camera only, and then on the left side, on the top, we will have a new action button that you can customize. So the iPhone 16 Pro battery is a bit better than the previous version. This one has up to 27 hours of video playback than the previous version that has 23 hours of video playback. For the display this time around, they introduced a second generation ceramic shield display, which they say it's 50% tougher than the previous version. And I actually believe this because the other day I went on a running and my iPhone just fell to the ground. How sad is that? But it was intact, which is the good stuff. So colors are going to be different this time around, so you can see them right here in the screen, or maybe you can visit the Apple Store to check them out. However, I want to tell you guys something that I noticed. The Desert Titanium, which looks like some kind of goldish thing, when I saw it in person, it looks more like a salmon color. So be careful with that. If you try to order it online, you may want to see it first. So make sure to check it out in person before you buy this specific color, because it looks way different than in the website. Let's talk about the action button. So the action button is going to be the new one on the left side. That is basically replacing the silence mode button on the previous version. I would love if we could customize every single button. I actually like this new approach here. And to customize it or to change it, it's pretty simple. You just go to the general settings and then go to action button, and then you should be able to change it. So you can add things like silent mode, flashlight, another camera button if you want, or maybe you can just put no action at all. I also would like to mention that I love this new UI design that they have for this action button, which is pretty cool. And for my case, I just left it in the silent mode button, which is because it's something that I use a lot. So it's not a new feature for me, at least. So the next one is going to be the camera button, which is on the right side. Not sure if we needed a new camera button, to be honest with you. But hey, I'm starting to using it a lot more, and I'm gonna tell you that it's faster. It's a lot faster than just doing it on the display. And you can also do some changes. So if you rub it a little bit, then you can zoom in and zoom out. However, this option is not that good if you are a case user, for example. It's a bit difficult to get in there, but I would say that's more about the case than the iPhone. Is this a new button that we actually needed? Not really. I wouldn't be impressed if for iPhone 17 or iPhone 18 they remove it and they just put something else. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the camera, which is a topic that I know most of you like. There is a winner here, which is going to be the ultra-wide camera on the main camera, you know, the camera that is looking here. It's going to be the ultra-wide, which is something really cool that they added 48 megapixels on this version. I really love ultra-wide, especially now that it's 48 megapixels. It looks much better, and I can capture bigger photos. Something else is that we can record in 4K 120 FPS, and I think we can record up to, for cinematography shoots. It's insane. And I think one of the videos from the weekend was actually recorded from the iPhone. And there is a new visual intelligence thing that basically you go to a restaurant or somewhere and then you take the picture and you will have like all the information regarding that place. To be honest with you, I tried this a couple times. I think they don't have it yet. I will have to dig into it. But let me know in the comments down below if this is something that it actually works. But it's something that I actually will use it a lot, especially because sometimes I am on my morning walks and then I walk around and I see these cool places and I just want to take a picture. And also it will be really nice if we can take the picture, and then once you save the picture, once you open the picture, then you can see all the specs or whatever, the menu of the restaurant, stuff like that. It will be very cool. Now, I would say the biggest changes for the iPhone 16 is actually on the iOS, which is the software, because of Apple Intelligence. However, let me talk about a feature that I actually like. You know the area around the front camera that is like a black square? So now it works like a small UI that doesn't bother you when you are using other applications. And it gives you some information about the applications that are running in the background. Applications such like GPS, Spotify, Apple Music, timers, the volume, the call that you are in. So you can also use this UI as a shortcut to the application that you have in the background. I love it. I actually love it a lot. I also saw that some people, they put like dynamics wallpapers, and those wallpapers, they customize this UI. Not a big fan of it, but maybe you can check it out. So let's go ahead and talk about customization. And hear me out, customization. So now customization, it's possible on the iPhone. When you drag an application, instead of going back against the other applications, it can just stay in the spot that you want. You can also change the color of most applications for those of you who are very creative with colors. Or maybe you can just remove the name of the application and just leave the logo. I heard from my Android friends that they had this customization years ago, but now iPhone users, they have it as well. And also you can add new gadgets, whatever you want. You can also use Siri as Chatgpt, some sort of Chatgpt. You can just say, hey Siri, or maybe if you prefer to type it, you can just do it as well. And ask Siri whatever you want, and they will reply to you like a AI. You can even ask instructions on how to do certain things on the iPhone. I think it's very nice to have that, and also you can change Siri's voice. Now, let's go ahead and talk about iOS 18.2 and what are the new features that brings to the iPhone. So the first one that I want to talk about is Playground. Playground, it's basically some sort of a emoji creation application with AI. So you can add a picture, or you can put some text, some prompts in there, and it will draw the picture for you in some sort of a emoji way. I used it like once, and I think this feature is something that you will use just once. But I also use one of my pictures, and I gotta tell you, it's a bit realistic the way that it actually makes it. I send it out to some friends and families without telling them anything that hey, I make this. And they were like, oh wow, it really looks like you. And then they asked me to do them, and they actually look like them. It's pretty impressive. But again, it's not something that we will use every day. Not a big emoji fan, to be honest. So another thing, it will be notifications abbreviation. This is not something that I haven't been able to get the most of it, because usually the notifications that I get, they are pretty short. There is not a lot of abbreviation to do here. However, when you get multiple notifications, it will just drag all the information and put it on a single one, which is very nice. So you don't have to scroll down to all the notifications to see the different stuff that they send you. Something very helpful here is that now you can do some cleanup on the pictures. So basically the way that it works is you take a picture, and then maybe you see somebody in the background, like these photo bombers, and then you can just clean them up. The option is right there in the photo settings. You open the pictures, the option is just right there, and then you click on clean. And then at first you will see some people that you can just press in there and then just have them removed. Or if you don't have that person selected by the application itself, what you can do is just to draw a circle, and once you draw it on that person, then it will just remove it from the picture. This is very good. So now you don't have to use Photoshop or asking strangers on the internet to do that for you, and then you ended up being trolled by the internet. Now, I gotta tell you something, it's not perfect. If you zoom in where you actually clean it up somebody, you can see a bit of pixels there, and then you can say, oh wow, yes, something was done here. Of course, it's not perfect at all. But if you don't zoom in and you just stay there, it doesn't look that bad, to be honest. You will have to pay attention to see the detail. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Notes here. In the Notes application, whatever you type in there, you can use Apple Intelligence to change this paragraph. You can make it funnier, you can make it friendlier, or maybe you can make it more professional. This is good. I like it a lot, but I would love it if we had that option in other chat applications, like WhatsApp, Messages, or maybe an email application. But for now, I just found it in there in the Notes. so I haven't been able to use it in other areas or other applications. Something also that I almost forget about is that when you get a message, you will automatically get some AI recommendations to reply back to this person. I think programs like Teams, some meetings, like Teams, Microsoft, they have this already, so it's not that wonderful. Now the question that you have been waiting, should I upgrade? Honestly, if you have the iPhone 15, I don't think this is a worth upgrade, as most of the things or the phone is gonna feel almost the same. However, you should have Apple Intelligence on iPhone 15 Pro and up. So if you have the iPhone 15, or something lower than that, you may not have these options. However, these options are not that cool right now, so it will be better for you to wait to have more of these options. But right now, the ones that I just talked in the video are the ones that are already there. So if you really like one of these, or maybe you think that you need it, then it will be a good time to upgrade. Keep in mind that these are just minor features for the moment. Just think about this. You can take an iPhone 16 and then you can take the iPhone 15 Pro. Like, both are Pro, and then the only difference it will be the buttons on the outside, or maybe the Apple Intelligence if you have the iPhone 15 or less. Now, if you are an all iPhone user and you're debating if you should buy iPhone 15 or the 16, just go for 16. I heard a lot of people that they're like, oh wow, you gotta wanna go to 16. If you're already upgrading, just pay a little bit more and have the latest version. And then you will not regret it in the future. For a bunch of people, there is not a lot to look forward in this new iPhone 16, and I kind of agree with them. There is not a lot besides AI, but I kind of like AI. So comment down below what are your thoughts about the new iPhone. Are you considering upgrading it? So what is your favorite feature of the new iPhone 16 Pro? Also, I want to remind you to like this video and subscribe and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos about reviewing some tech products. Thank you and have a great night.